Yeah, as I say, I was impressed when we enter. This ramp going down is exactly the same that we created in Chile, in our observatory, a ramp going into the ground, in the earth, and then when the door opens, you find yourself in a totally different place. There, from the driest desert in the world, you go to a tropical forest with swimming pool. Here, you arrive from a chaos of Florence with all the tourists to the quiet and the beauty of simplicity. And I found this space with some simple element positioned in critical point that attract your vision, but also something inside. You have a feeling to enter in the peaceful place. Well, it's clear that you enter in that first room and you see masterpiece, not just a statue, not something created by artists that have nothing to do, something that they have thought and worked and elaborated his work in order to achieve a certain state. And there is something that collects all that the statue shown there, but each one has its personality. And the one that you're shown in the center is another world, because its tension to go toward the sky, so accompanied to the integration with two bodies and the complexity of the anatomy of the two bodies, in which they come completely the force of the muscle and the force of the position is really shocking. And as you suggested, it's good to go around and see in the different position how the movement goes, and it's clear. Every angle, you see something different, but it's the complexity of the circle that give you the beauty of this sculpture. You can spend, in my opinion, hour there in exploring this element that composing this art. The beauty of this corpse is the complexity of the muscle. So you enter in the body, and you don't see the skin, you see the power from the muscle. This is very interesting because when you see these two elements going together in one point, and then you turn around and you see illumination with this spot moving, soon you move a little bit. It came to my mind that I was close to one of the key points of the accelerator of CERN for high energy particle. So these are two beam proton going to collision and creating material that was present only at the beginning of the universe for so small time, but so important because it's there is creation of the universe. And so everything, when you look art or some other thing, it goes back to your mind and say, what is something that is similar to that thing? And this one, for me, is part of the beginning of the universe, when the thing, maybe you can see an opposite thing, the Big Bang, from the top to the rest, and the expansion of the universe. So it's very scientific, but it's also created with such a simplicity that it is shocking how much a simple thing can produce high and intense sensation. you see there is something common with all the things. So the universe is more unified than what we think. When a piece of bronze and a galaxy, they look almost identical. How can? It's only because there's one universe and not two. Maybe there will be two, but we know that from the cosmology, if there are two, we cannot connect, so does not exist the other one. Already when you enter, in a certain sense, you want to be alone because you want to absorb the energy there is in this place. And you don't want to share this with others because it's energy that comes from outside, entering you, and is integrated in your energy. In a certain sense, it's like you are in a desert and you have the opportunity to look at the beautiful sky, the Milky Way, and you like to be alone because that is yours. And so to be alone is a way to say, this is part of me. It's not something created for others to enjoy me. No, it's part of my body. I am part of this thing. Then the first thing is, it was my comment about being alone. Now my comment is what I felt, and that is a different thing. And I say is the closest way to be going to the center of our galaxy. The famous Sagittarius say, I did my physics thesis on this subject 50 years ago. And it's where we discover now the existence of a black hole, where everything is now mixed and transformed and everything changed. And this seems to me like to go closer to this point that is so important for the life of our galaxy, in which you see element, body, people, animal, structure that are coming in, and because the speed of this element is varying from point to point of element due to the relativistic fact, these are the form. And so more you stay, the more you find new things. You find a baby just coming out from the mother. You find an animal. You find a tree. You find, and you can stay for hours and invent, because this thing is giving you the opportunity of your imagination to create new things. And it's something that is very useful for a scientist to look complexity and try to extract simplicity. And this is clearly a complex thing. But then you take some element here and there that remember you something simple. That the small and the big are the same thing, are the expression of the universe, both. And here is a third expression of universe, because here is not the star, not the animal, but the matter, the piece of art that is inside the things that are in the sky, in the macro, in the eyes of the insect, in the galaxy. And when you see this last image that I never thought there was an image of macro of that statue, you understand very well that there is a unity between the interior universe and a smaller piece of universe. You know, I'm coming from downtown, where you have hundreds and hundreds of people, a long queue to go inside the cathedral, to the museum, and I don't like it. I had luck to visit the museum, a special visit, or in Venice, the cathedral, with a small group, when they also illuminated the mosaic, gold mosaic. Art is not something for big group of people. Art is myself, an artistic piece. So this one, it gives you back this pleasure to be part of the artistic work, not just watching, integrating yourself. And in a town of Florence, where it become more and more complicated to be alone in a museum, I think this is a piece where everybody will have to spend at least an hour when they come to Florence. So I think you have to promote this as, sometimes I say, meeting the artist. By meeting yourself through the artistic work. I think that this is an excellent beginning, but need more space. And I'm sure there is a possibility to increase the space and extend this sensation for longer. I'm sure that she had fantastic other ideas. When I've seen this note to create this art, I think it would be good also to show that at the end of the visit, to understand how much is inside, in spite it seems to be so little, because every piece is part of a long process of work.